I want to now zoom out and talk about the Harris campaign as a whole. She has a very interesting person campaigning with her, and that person is conservative former Congresswoman Liz Cheney. During her time in Congress, she voted with Trump 90% of the time, over 90% of the time. So is Liz Cheney, who endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, is she the type of person, as a Democrat, you want to see campaigning and aligning with Harris because of just how conservative her record is?
Yeah, Liz Cheney is such an interesting diversion, I think, in this election cycle. I think it's good. I think overall, if you ask if it's good or I think it is a good thing because I think that we need more people to say, we need to put parties aside and we need to put our country first. And I think that's one thing. If I could say one good thing about Liz Cheney, that's what I would say about her is that she is that type of politician that she will always put her country first. And I think there's something to be said about that. Her record is dicey to say the least. But I do think that she has seen the danger of Donald Trump. She's recognized that, and she's on the path forward to fix that. What she's done in her past, I hope that this also changes her perspective of Democrats. I do. Will it? I don't know. Will her record continue the way it is? Maybe it will. But I do think that she is making the effort to put forward her best foot forward in this moment in history, which is good.
Donald Trump certainly didn't have a nice thing to say about Liz Cheney after seeing this. And I want to read what he posted and then get your reaction. He posted this. Arab voters are very upset that Comrade Kamala Harris, the worst vice president in the history of the United States and a low IQ individual, is campaigning with dumb as a rock war hawk Liz Cheney, who, like her father, the man that pushed Bush to ridiculously go to war in the Middle East, also wants to go to war with every Muslim country known to mankind. Let's take the obvious name calling out of this. But to his point, do you think this is going to isolate Muslim and Arab voters even further away from Vice President Kamala Harris?
It's a possibility. Although in saying that, I think that Harris, what's more sort of difficult, I think, for Kamala in this moment is the whole war on Gaza, right? The war between Israel and Gaza. I think a lot of young voters, particularly in Michigan, I hope that they do come out and vote for her. I do, but I do think if they don't, that will be the reason why they didn't. And I think that the sort of struggle of this is that Donald Trump has not been better on this issue at all. He's been worse. I mean, in fact, he said that Israel should finish the job, right? But still, even with that, I don't necessarily think those voters will go out and vote for Trump, but I do think that they won't vote. And that is just as big of a problem, to be perfectly honest, and something that as a Democratic Party, and I know that Kamala has come out and she has said things like she believes that we need a ceasefire. She's, sided with Bernie Sanders on that issue, but Bernie Sanders has been the only Democrat I've seen, at least, that is at least as high up as he is in the Democratic Party, that has been speaking out against this in a really, really strong way. And I think if Kamala had gotten on that train, it could be a good thing for her. But also, I do know that she's in a tough situation because she has to balance the Jewish vote in a lot of these swing states. So, it's a tough issue. It's a really tough issue.